I need to tell you something that this person has been hiding from you, and maybe you haven't noticed, but this is about to change everything. They have always been there, by your side. That person you believe you know so well, that you already know their mannerisms, the tone of their voice, their somewhat shy smile, but what you don't know is that they carry something special, something they've never told you, maybe because they were afraid of how you would react, or maybe because they didn't want you to feel differently about them. They carry something very beautiful, something that perhaps if you knew would make you look at them in a completely new way. They have a strength, a story that they've never shared. Not out of a lack of trust, but by choice, by caring for you, and at the same time protecting a part of themselves. This person, whom you admire, whom you trust, has within them a story that can move you in a way you can't even imagine. They have lived through experiences that they've never revealed, things that show the true beauty of who they are inside. And suddenly, you will realize that what they've been hiding from you all this time was precisely the missing piece for you to understand why they are so special, why they are so unique. Now tell me, do you want to continue and discover what they've been keeping? I'll continue then. And I want you to follow every word because this is going to touch you deeply. This person so close, so familiar, have always been by your side. They are someone you consider predictable, someone you think you know too well, to the point that you know what they're going to say even before they open their mouth. Maybe you've never paid much attention to the more subtle details, or noticed it once or twice but then brushed it off. But now things are going to become clearer to you in a different way. She has lived through situations that shaped who she is, giving meaning to each of those gestures and silences that you sometimes don't understand. It's not about a heavy secret, but rather her choice to protect a part that she maybe never believed anyone could understand. And perhaps you are the first person who will have the chance to see all of this. Now imagine. This person, whom you see as secure, calm, confident, has within her a piece of life that is almost like an old wound. It's a detail she has hidden until now, perhaps because she was never sure how to show it, or because in reality, she didn't even know how to find words to speak about it. She never wanted you to see this as a weakness, but it goes beyond that. She is strong, yes, but that strength came from a series of difficult moments, from moments when, perhaps, everything seemed to be falling apart. And she faced it, alone in silence with the firmness of someone who chose to carry her own weight, so as not to overburden anyone else. She chose, many times, the harder path because she believed it was what she needed to do to become who she is now. That decision not to tell you, not to open up this part of her story, was not out of distrust, it was out of care. Do you see? She created a barrier around this piece of her story, not to protect herself but to protect you, because she knew that by sharing it, you would feel that weight too. And she never wanted you to worry. She wanted you to always see her lightly, to feel safe by her side. And what I'm about to tell you might move you, because it's as if you're about to discover a part of her that she herself may still be learning to accept. But this will show you how incredible she truly is. She has gone through losses that you might never have imagined. Losses of people who meant the world to her and who left deep marks that shaped her way of dealing with the world. These losses brought a kind of pain that many people wouldn't be able to bear, but she endured it, and more than that, she transformed this pain into a capacity to love and care for others in a way that few people know how to do. Have you ever wondered why she is so good at understanding what you feel, at noticing when you are sad, even without you saying a word? It comes from that part of her. It comes from this experience of having known pain up close, and at the same time not allowing that pain to harden her. On the contrary, she chose to embrace that pain and transform it into a source of empathy, into a way of caring for the people around her without anyone noticing how much it costs her. And that's not all. She carries memories of moments that made her doubt herself, that made her question if she was capable of moving forward. And yet, she did. She found strength where many would have given up. But she never told you, never let you see those scars, because for her the most important thing was always to protect you, to give you the best of herself, without ever burdening you with the weight of what she lived through. And every time she smiled at you, even on days when she was exhausted, when the weight of those memories was almost unbearable, she was choosing to put you above her own pains. She wanted you to have someone by your side whom you could trust without ever imagining what was behind it all. Can you see it now? Every time she listened to your stories, supported you in difficult moments, she was there, fully present, putting aside her own battles to be the person you needed. And all this without telling you, without letting on how much she herself needed support and never had it. This is where you start to understand the depth of this connection. It's not just a person by your side. It's someone who did everything to be the foundation you needed, even if it meant giving up showing who she really is. Someone who chose silence, not to hide from you, but to allow you to see only the most beautiful side, the strongest side, because she thought that was the only way to protect you. But now you know, and maybe you can no longer see this person the same way. Maybe now, every time you look at her, every time you hear her voice, you can realize that behind every word there is a story of strength, of overcoming, of someone who learned to be a refuge for others, because she knew the world can be cruel, and she never wanted you to know how cruel the world could be. That's why this discovery is so important. It's as if you are being invited to know the true heart of this person, the heart that beats with an intensity that she always kept just for herself, but that now, finally, you have the chance to understand. This is the part of her that she always kept, the truest part, and perhaps the most beautiful. Now imagine how it's going to be from here on. Every conversation you have, every moment by her side, you will carry this new perspective. You will realize that that strength, her way of always being present, comes from a place much deeper than you could have imagined. It comes from a story that is hers, but that now also belongs to you. You see her smiling, hear the words of support she always offered you, feel the affection she puts into each gesture, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. But now you begin to understand that all of this, the care, the protection she always provided, comes at a cost. She did all this while hiding from you the parts of herself that were still in pieces, the scars she never showed anyone. This person you know so well had to learn to survive with a burden that few could imagine. And I'm not talking about an ordinary burden. I'm talking about moments when she looked at her own life and wondered if it would ever be possible to find someone who really saw her, who really understood her. Because deep down, even while she was there for you, there was always a question. Will someone someday be able to see beyond the surface? Will someone understand how much I have endured? She went through situations where loneliness was her only company, where she had no one to turn to. But still, she chose not to let that loneliness define who she is. She chose to move forward, to build a world where she could offer love and support to those around her. Because despite everything, she always believed there was beauty in life, that there was something more. And deep down, she always wished to find someone who could see that beauty too. Maybe she found that in you, and that's why she keeps everything so well guarded, so deeply protected. Think of the moments when you felt lost, and she was there, in some way, offering a calming silence or a word that brought you back to the present. That was not by chance. She learned to be that person. She learned to give what she would like to receive. She learned to be strong, to be the support, because she wanted to be the person she never had for herself. And now you're seeing how special that is, how it makes each moment between you much more significant. She has had her moments of weakness, yes, moments when she may have wanted to open her heart and tell everything, reveal every detail. But every time that desire arose, a deep fear took over. The fear that by opening that part of herself, you might see something that she sometimes has difficulty accepting. That you might see not just the person she is for others, but the person she is inside, with all the flaws, with all the uncertainties. She didn't want to risk losing the way you look at her. That look she learned to love because it made her feel for a moment as if she were complete, as if she could finally exist without the weight of hiding. But now, with you knowing, she realizes that maybe that was what she needed all along. Someone who could look at her, knowing everything, and still see her the same way. Because that's what she really needs. Someone who can see her true heart and understand every mark, every wound, and still stay there. She has this part within her, a part that has lived through losses, that has faced dark days, that knows pain as few do. But she did not allow herself to sink. On the contrary, she decided to rebuild herself brick by brick, piece by piece, and that is what makes her so special. Because while many would get lost, she found herself again. While many would choose isolation, she chose the path of affection, the path of offering the most beautiful parts of herself to the people she loves. And now you are here, on the other side, realizing that every moment you spent together was built on this silent love, this invisible strength. Can you see how powerful that is? Because what she is offering you now, by allowing you to see this part of her, is a trust she might never have offered anyone before. Imagine what that means for her. It's like opening a window to the most intimate place in her heart, letting someone see every corner, every shadow, without knowing exactly how it will be received. She chose you for this, chose to open this part of her life to you, even knowing that it means exposing herself, taking a risk, giving herself in a way that few would have the courage to do, because she believes in you, believes that you are the person who can understand, who can accept, who can see beyond all these layers. So by understanding this story she carries, you also carry a responsibility. It is not something she asked of you, but it is something that comes with the territory. Now that you know, now that you are aware of what she has hidden from you all this time, it is in your hands to take care of it with the respect, the care, and the delicacy it deserves. Because even if she never asked for it, she trusts that you will know how to value it. And every time you are together, in every conversation, in every moment, that knowledge will be there, between you, creating a connection that few people experience. A real deep connection, a connection that does not need words, that does not need explanations. A connection that comes from understanding that this person in front of you is much more than you imagined. She is not just someone who offers you a smile on difficult days or gives you a shoulder when you need it. She is someone who offers you her most precious things, her own story, her own heart, without reservations, without hiding anything anymore. This person, with all her pain and triumphs, chose to be by your side and show who she really is. And now, it's up to you. It's up to you to decide how you will welcome this, how you will show that you understand the depth of this gesture, and how you will reciprocate the trust she placed in you. Because one thing is certain, she would not have done this if she did not see something special in you as well. Now that you know all this, now that you have in your hands the true story that this very special person kept for so long, the choice is yours. Do you understand the value of this? This rare trust, this type of bond that is not found just anywhere, is something that deserves to be protected and nurtured. She opened up to you, showed her heart without reservations, and that requires a type of commitment and courage that few have. Every time you look at this person, every moment beside her will have a new meaning. Now you know what she has been through, you know what she has overcome, and you also know how much she chose to show you who she really is, trusting that you would see this truth with the respect and understanding that she deserves. So, from today onwards, take care of it. Be by her side in an even more present way. Let her know through gestures and actions that you understand and value every part of this story. Because when you choose to be a true support, a presence that respects and embraces without judgment, you create a connection that transcends any barrier. And if this message touched you, if in some way it made you reflect on someone special in your life, take this moment to connect even more. This is the kind of understanding that can transform relationships and strengthen bonds like nothing else can. Now, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Here, with each video, we delve into topics that speak to the heart and that can help you see the world and the people around you in a deeper way. Leave your comment about what you thought of this topic. Share your experiences. Your story also matters, and I would love to know how you see all of this. And of course, don't forget to leave your like, because it is a sign that we are together on this journey of discovery and growth. See you in the next video.